Ultra, I am your father. Hello. Hey, what's up to all my Licious fans? Steve Alicious here, and don't get this confused. Don't get, as we put Vader back over here for a moment, don't get this confused that we're doing one of these spec for spec versus, oh, this has the Snapdragon 855, so it's going to come in at a disadvantage to this. Now, I can't do those. Those drive me nuts. So the reason we are doing one of these versus videos of the S22 Ultra versus the Note 10 Plus is because I think this is the most interesting of the comparisons from just a regular consumer point of view. The Joe or the John and Jane Q Android out there who don't necessarily need to upgrade their phones every single year. If you have a Note 20 Ultra, I see zero reason to go ahead and upgrade this year, unless you're just an enthusiast. You're someone who wants to upgrade their phone every year. That's what you enjoy. Then go ahead and buy this. It's a fantastic device. You're going to love it. If you have an S21 Ultra, then I really see no reason to upgrade your device this year, unless for the same reason, or maybe you were getting that as a stopgap device until they released a new Note-esque device. Then go ahead and upgrade. You're going to love it. This is everything that you've been waiting for. But the reason to me why the Note 10 Plus is the more interesting comparison is because this phone came out in mid to late 2019. So depending on what carrier deal you're on, whether it's the 24-month payment or the 30-month payment, this has either just been recently paid off, very recently paid off, or you maybe have a month or two left on your payment. So is there necessarily a reason to dive right back in and get yourself into another big payment on an S22 Ultra? So I want to talk about some reasons why you'd want to hang on to your Note 10 Plus another year, resist that temptation to go for the latest and greatest, and enjoy a nice, perfectly good paid off phone for another year. So let's talk about the Note 10 Plus in 2022. You're still getting Android support. I don't think you're under any sort of pressure to upgrade because it's still a supported device. You are getting that extra year. That was Samsung introduced that with the S10 models where they were going to extend it to, I think, the 3 major upgrades of Android or whatever else. So you have One UI 4.0 on this device, which is quite nice. I like that. So it's not like you have to worry about security or having an out-of-date device. You're not. Still perfectly usable. Their performance is great on it still. We're not going to get to the point where we tax the latest and greatest processors for years. Developers are going to have to learn how to maximize these things. You're not talking about any sort of real-world difference on any major scale. If you're running Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, watching videos, even a lot of the camera stuff, you're not getting into a position where you're taxing even the 855 that's in this phone, let alone the Snapdragon Gen 8, whatever they got going on over here in the S22 Ultra. The other thing that they've done with software is that they've done a great job. It really makes you laugh because Samsung, not that long ago, was one of the worst Android experiences. Is that, if not the worst? I think we just call it the worst Android experience. And now, subjectively, they're one of the best Android experiences. And one of the things that they've done and really had a commitment to is putting newer software features, having that trickle down into the older devices on the older hardware, and done it in a way that doesn't bog down the older hardware. So it's not a situation where, yeah, okay, they'll throw all the features and whatever else in the updates on this phone and leave you off in the swamp somewhere. You're actually getting a device that runs well, has no problem with the latest and greatest, and gets that feature set that some of the newer phones get. So that really, there is a reason why you might want to hold off. So all the implementations of Android 12 with the extra security stuff, they've done a great job trickling down a lot of the camera features as well. Remember when you got single take on this with 2.5 and all the different media things that you can get with the widgets and stuff and some of the material use stuff on Android 12, you get that all here and it runs really well. It's not a situation where I'm like, oh man, this thing's really showing its age. Yeah, okay, it runs the new stuff, but it's really bogged down. None of that stuff. You are getting a quality build. Obviously, it was a flagship for 2019. Glass front and back looks great. I personally like the fact I got used to it, and then I loved it. The fact that they put the power button on the left-hand side here. Because if you're right-handed, all right, I understand my left-handed friends might have issue here. But if you're right-handed, You unlock it with one hand. Go ahead, get the pen with your other hand, and you're set to go. Even though they changed the placement of the pen on this one, which I don't agree with. But on here, you get the regular placement of the S Pen and that power button on the left-hand side. What's great, and we can talk about the S Pen a little bit for a moment here, is that you're really not losing anything in terms of functionality. Is the 2 milliseconds over here great? Absolutely. It's fantastic. It's a great experience. It's like you're actually writing on a sheet of paper. But this was, 20 milliseconds? Something, it's really, we're getting to the point where the perceivability of it is really negligible. So you're not losing anything here. And when I was using these two devices, so I used this for a couple weeks right up until I got the S22 Ultra. I can tell you, not for 95, not for 99, for 100% of the things that I use the S Pen for, both of these devices can do them just fine. Whether it's LOLing with your friends, writing on memes, signing stuff, cropping stuff, whatever it is, you're going to get by just fine on the Note 10 Plus as you are on the S22 Ultra. So I wouldn't go ahead and think that you got to have a hole burning in your pocket because of that new technology that's in the S22 Ultra. You also are getting to keep your expandable storage, which is a big deal for a lot of people. Micro SD card slot on the Note 10 Plus. Obviously, the latest Samsung device, pretty much every device at this point, with the S22 Ultra does not have the expandable storage. You get to keep that. And a lot of people, a lot of videos, a lot of photo, a lot of content, whatever it happens to be, they love their expandable storage, and you get to keep that for another year if you hold on to your Note 10 Plus. Cameras, obviously this is going to have a slightly better camera system. It takes great photos. The Note 10 Plus is not a slouch there either. That was the first year, 2019, where I think they really put an effort into their camera systems, and the Note 10 Plus series got a great camera. If you take the photos side by it's not good light. It's going to take a representative image, a really good image, and if you're not someone who's super into camera tech and having to have this and this portrait mode be this and the way it handles the light and this copy, you'll be just fine. And on this channel, we don't do a lot of camera stuff. It's for a reason. You got to be into that, and if you are, I don't think you're losing out any by sticking with your Note 10 Plus. Overall, you're getting a lot of the flagship features. You get the wireless charge. You get the reverse wireless charge. You get the S Pen features. You get that quality build. You get a decent enough battery. Runs fine. I was getting 4.5, 5 hours on this, which is what I'm getting on this right now, which hopefully improves. You're getting a slightly lighter build as well. If you notice, let's see if we could do this right here. It's about 25, if you actually line them up correctly, it's about 25 or 30% thinner on this, because that was a time in 2019, if you remember the S10 Plus, where Samsung was really highlighting the fact that they could put a quality build and a flagship phone in a thinner, lighter form factor, and this certainly has some of that as well. It's just nice in the hand to hold. This is certainly beefier and bulkier. At the end of the day, are you going to get better performance on your S22 Ultra? Yeah, of course. It's the latest and greatest. It's a $1,200 phone. You're getting what you pay for over here. The higher refresh rate is nice. That's probably the one area where this is starting to show its age a little bit, is the 60 hertz display. But the great thing about the Samsung displays is they've done such a great job for so long now. The displays are phenomenal. When you put both of these to Quad HD, you don't notice a heck of a lot of difference, except for the refresh rate. And 60 hertz, not great. You wish this was right on the cusp of when manufacturers were putting in 90 hertz. You would have liked it. Didn't get it, but that's okay. If that's something that doesn't bother you, then you're going to have no issue over here. So resist that urge to go for the latest and greatest. Resist that urge to go ahead and plunk down your $1,200 on this. Keep this. It's paid off. It's working great. Feels great in the hand. Keep it in your pocket another year, and then use it for a great trade-in offer on an S23 Ultra. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.